is Scott Messina, and you are watching iShowcase Presents. Tonight, we are presenting Krystof, my buddy for a very long time and one of the best there is, no doubt. Whether he agrees or not, he is. And we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
So let me ask you this, Krystof. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And I know you're from Poland, and I know you had quite a technical upbringing, when it comes to your skills. And tell the viewers a little bit about that.
Well, I was born and raised in the most western part of Poland, about 15 minutes drive to Germany, about an hour drive to Czech Republic. So when you look at the map, it's like halfway between Prague and Berlin.
Okay.
So that's the region of a very high culture, lots of history, lots of tradition, lots of different music. So I grew up going to two schools at the same time. The school that all kids are going, learning languages, mathematics, physics, biology, chemistry, all these classes. And then in the afternoons, around 5 p.m., music. So I basically didn't have a childhood in the normal sense of it, because I constantly had to practice, I loved music and art so much that after graduation, I've chosen music as my major.
Mm-hmm. So it was almost like the Olympics.
Yes, because you had to prepare for recitals, for every semester, public recitals in front of the audience, and everything, all musical material memorized and everything. So it was like regular concerts. So I was trained since...
I've been playing my whole life too, and I won't even come near a piano when you're in the room.
Oh, come on.
No, I don't do it. I don't do it. I'm not an insecure person, except when it comes to playing piano when you're around. Anyway, let's talk about that. Great segue into this beautiful piano. I want to tell you the story. So, what was the first song I asked you to play when you got here?
I think it was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And there's a story behind that. This piano is a Sterling, baby grand.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so Sterling
yeah.
was Steinway's to 100. He tried to go on his own. Mm-hmm. This is one of those pianos that he went out on his own.
Wow, yeah.
So it's 120 years old.
You get used to it. It's not like you sit down to like a regular piano and pretty much you can just gig around. With the old instruments, yourself into it.
Every time I write a song, I write it on this piano. And there's a reason for this. My grandfather was part of the New York Opera way back in the day. Mm-hmm. Made a lot of friends. During segregation, he used to literally sneak Nat King Cole into the house. Nat King Cole's played on this piano. Guy by the name of Johnny Marks played on this piano.
Wow.
Johnny Marks wrote Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yes.
So I was doing a little research, and I think he died in 1985, and before he died, he had sold 135 million copies of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Wow.
And then he was quoted as saying it was the worst song ever written. Could you imagine selling 135 million copies and then of your own song and saying it was the worst? I love that song.
I love it.
Well, the poem book and all of that came before then. And Walt Disney had something to do with Rudolph back in 1949, 1950. Back in the day when people were, smoking cigars, drinking some cognac, and that culture you talked about in Poland, in New York. And I talked to my uncle the other day, Uncle Paul, and did Johnny Marks write Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on this piano, or did he just play it? So I started doing some research, and there's no way to prove it. How would you ever prove? There's no paperwork.
Of course not.
I can look at least.
But you can pretty much guess with a good probability.
But my grandmother, this is how I put two and two together. My grandmother ended up, her best friend's husband was the first promoter of that song. So when they came over and he played Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, if he was already promoting the song, that means the song was already written. But he still came over and jammed it, Yep. So the mojo, the energy, the synergy, that piano has so much more. I just got it tuned, again, get it up to concert pitch. I think he did a really good job. But
yes, he did a really good job. and it's not easy to tune like that. It's they don't hold the tuning for a long time neither. And as I said, the mechanics, everything is a little bit challenging for even seasoned pianists as myself. Intimidated a little bit by the instrument. As I said, I had to
I've
get
seen
used
you
to
play
it.
a Casio keyboard from
Well,
Walmart. It's not the instrument; it's the player.
Yeah,
I've
well,
seen
yeah,
Eddie Van.
absolutely.
It's you could play.
You have to be able.
But
to.
he did say when he left, that is the best that piano will ever. It's nostalgic and it's going nowhere. I'm very blessed to have it and that it was handed down to me. Really, really excited and glad that you came over. That you're going to jam a couple Christmas tunes for us. Can't wait to hear what you have.
Okay, let's do it.
iShowcase TV.